Good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Is my screen visible?
Visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So in yesterday's class, we have seen the difference between task and function. Can anyone tell me the major differences between them? Yes, anyone? What is task and what is a function? Or else what is reentrant task and a recursive function? This is one of the definite question in your internals followed by externals also.
Task execute non-zero simulation time.
Task non-zero simulation time. Okay.
Functions zero simulation time.
Mm.
Task and multitask.
Okay.
Function
Keyword are task and end task done.
function does not contain delay event timing control statements.
Mm.
Task contain delay timing and control statements.
Okay. Then what is this recursive and reentrant? What is the difference? What is reentrant task and what is recursive function? Yes. What is the difference between these two? Just you need to add a keyword called as.
Automatic.
That's it. Just a keyword. Automatic should be add. Why?
Because tasks are static in nature, to convert them into dynamic, we use the keyword automatic.
Right. Correct. Only this is a change. So to convert it from static to dynamic, we need to use a keyword called as automatic. So one more example. So let us see this left and right shift. So already we know that what is meant by arithmetic left shift, arithmetic right shift, followed by logical left and right. See, this is some dummy example. Just for your understanding sake, I've taken this. See here, by using hash define. What is this? I mean, tick define. Is it system task or
Compiler
system
direct-
function? It is
Directives.
called as compiler
compiler.
directives. This is one of the important short. Okay. Compiler directives. So tick define. So I'm assigning for left shift a value called as 0. Similarly, for right shift, I'm assigning a value which is 1. And register. So 31 down to 0 means. So here it is of size 32 bit. Means you can take any address which is of size 32 bit. Okay, next by using some control statement, I will try to shift it either left or right. So here control can be either 0, control value can be either 1. Okay, depending upon the condition, you need to shift it either left or right. Next, this is called as initial block. So here what I'm doing is I'm trying to monitor the changes in the values of address followed by after left and right shift. And what is the use of this dollar time here? Dollar time. Yes. What is the use of dollar time? What will it tell?
Simulation time.
Simulation time, which is nothing but based on the delay values we get it. Okay. So here after 1 nanosecond of delay, so this is the value which is given for address, and 1 plus 10. After 11 nanoseconds, this will be the value 11 plus 10, 21, and this is the 31 value. Okay. So what I'm doing here is, see, this is one always block, and this is the separate function I'm trying to call. Okay, see here, always at the rate address. Whenever there are changes in the values of address, this particular statements will be called. See here, left address is equal to shift address comma tick left shift, means this is nothing but one function. Okay, this is the function which will be called. So automatically the control moves from here to line number 34. Now see what are the parameters that I'm passing within this shift function is address followed by this left shift value. Okay, what is this tick left shift means? This is a value which will be given. So for left shift, the value is 0 and for right shift, it is 1. So I'm writing it here. So for left, it is 0 and for right, it is 1. You can take any value. Done. So function 31 down to 0 shift followed by input. So here input is of size 32-bit and this is the control. Next begin. So this will be called. So shift is equal to control. What is this called? Is it assignment operator or equality operator?
Equality.
Equality.
It is called as equality operator. And what is this entire statement called?
Ternary operator.
Or else?
Conditional statement.
Correct. Or else conditional operator. Any name you can use. So this particular condition will be checked. What is that condition means? Is control equal to left shift? If it is satisfied, means if it is true, address is, what is this? Left shift or right shift?
Left shift.
Left shift. By how many bits?
By 1 bit.
1 bit.
Yes. Suppose if this is true, it will be left shifted by 1 bit. If it is false, it will be right shifted by 1 bit. So this is right shifted by 1 bit and this is nothing but left shifted by 1 bit. Depending upon the condition, it will check. So let us see for one example. So better I'll try to take the condition value is equal to 0 and it will try to compare it with tick left shift. So what is the value for tick left shift? It is nothing but 0. So is 0 equal to 0? Is this condition satisfied?
Yes, sir.
Yes, if this condition is satisfied, so the particular address will be left shifted by 1 bit. So here, let us take some dummy address, so which is of size 32-bit. So 4 zeros, 4 ones. Now try to left shift this by 1 bit and tell me the result. What will happen if I left shift it? This particular value will go away and this will be the answer. Followed by 1 bit, which is 0 gets added. Yes or no? This is left shift. Suppose if you want to do the right shift, this particular value will get surfaced out so that the entire result will be from here to here, followed by one more value gets added to MSB position. Okay, this is some rough example of using a function. So this is left and right shifter. Next, same concept. So no more differences with this recursive function also. Automatic keyword should be used. In C language, what is meant by recursive function?
Function calling itself.
Correct. Function calling itself is called as recursive. So the same story is applicable here also. See this example. So here I'm declaring some function. So this is one function which starts with a keyword called as function and ended with end function. Now I want to implement factorial 4. Means see here result is equal to factorial 4. So if line number 21 is executed, then where will the control go? So result is equal to
line number 6.
Factorial 4. So immediately the control shift to line number 6. So from here the control moves here. Next input 31 down to 0 operator or else operand anything you can take. So this is of size 32-bit and integer I begin. So initially you need to check the condition. So check this condition. What is the particular operator value that I'm sending is? It is 4. Is 4 greater than or equal to 2? Is this condition satisfied?
Yes.
Yes, this condition is satisfied. So this particular line will execute. So factorial is equal to factorial of operator value is nothing but 4 minus 1 into 4. So this becomes factorial 4 minus 1 is 3 into 4. Now you tell me what will happen. Next, what should
Factorial
it?
3 is performed.
Yes, again factorial 3. So function calling itself. So again the control comes here and it will check for that particular operator value. Now this becomes OPER. So Is 3 greater than or equal to 2?
Yes, sir.
So again, you need to do this one. So it's simply factorial 3 minus 1 into 3. So this becomes factorial 2 into 3. So I'm
Into
writing
4.
it here. It is factorial 2 into 3 followed by this value as it is. Now you tell me what will happen.
Factorial 2.
Again,
will be upper.
factorial 2 will be called. So check the condition now. Is 2 greater than or equal to 2? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this becomes factorial 2 minus 1. So this is 2 minus 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. So factorial 2 minus 1. This is nothing but 1. Okay. Next, what should I do?
Else part will be executed now.
Check this condition. So now OPER value is nothing but 1. Is 1 greater than or equal to 2?
False.
Condition false. So this particular line will not be executed. So its value is nothing but 1. So it is 1 followed by rest everything will be same. So 4 into 3 is 12. 12 into 2 is 24. So factorial 4. So 4 is nothing but 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So our result should be 24. That particular result will be displayed here. Okay, this is a way of using automatic keyword. If you won't use this automatic keyword, you can't call that particular function again and again. Okay, it will be static in nature. Now based on the same condition, functions are classified into two more types, which is constant function followed by signed function. So just you need to know that there are two more functions, which is constant followed by signed. So constant is nothing but for this after function you need to use a keyword called as integer. However, I'm using the keyword called as automatic in order to convert static to dynamic. Similarly, for constant function, see here instead of this automatic, here it should be integer. So integer keyword should be used. And suppose if it is signed, if you want to perform operation for signed values, then simply use a keyword called as signed. See here, this is nothing but signed. Why? Because here I'm dealing with signed values, which is negative. Okay, so dummy examples. Just you need to understand the syntax. There are two more functions, which is called as constant followed by signed. So for if you're dealing with any signed that is negative values, better add a keyword called as signed. If you are going for any constant values, add a keyword called as integer. See here. Okay. So this is about task followed by function. So definitely you'll get this question in your external as well as internal also. So better try to go through this. Next important concept is generate block. Can anyone tell me what is generate block? Any idea regarding this? Yes, anyone? Generate block. So till now we have written all the codes for how many bits? Suppose if we write the code for AND gate, can anyone tell me the AND gate code? Any style you wish.
Assign y equal to a and b.
Okay, you are telling using data flow.
Data
So
flow.
assign y is equal to a and b. Okay, this is for how many bits you are computing?
2 bits.
What are they?
0 and 1.
0 and 1. So simply you are following this truth table 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Yes. Suppose if I want to perform operation for a is equal to 4 bit and b is equal to 4 bit, how should I write the code? I want to perform AND operation using a and b, whereas a is of size 4 bit, b is of size 4 bit. This is called as multi-bit. It should be represented like this. Two inputs are a and b. Output is nothing but y. So this is a b. So if it is multi-bit, you should represent it by a slash like this. This is of size multi-bit. It can be n bit. Okay. So if you want to take any value, you can take, and it can be 4, 5, 6, so on. So in order to do this kind of things, you can use generate block. See here. Generate statements are particularly convenient when the same operation or module instance is repeated for multiple bits of a vector, or when certain Verilog code is conditionally included based on parameter definition. What is meant by a parameter? Parameter. So similar to C language, where you will define like this, right? Similarly, in the above example which I have seen, we have done something like this. Take define left shift, I'm giving some value. So similarly, parameter will also hold value for something. So here parameter n is equal to 5. So whenever you are using the word which is n, it will be replaced with number 5. So parameter n is equal to 5 means it is almost equal to define. Generate statement allow Verilog code to be generated dynamically at elaboration time before the simulation begins. So whenever you are using this particular generate block, before the time of simulation, that particular code will be elaborated, means simply it will unroll. Okay, simply if you want to write some 10 lines of code by using this generate statement, within 2 lines you can do this. So after this, before the time of simulation, what will it do is it will try to unroll, means it will try to elaborate the entire thing. This facilitates the creation of parameterized model. See here, generate statement allow control over the declaration of variables, functions, tasks, as well as control over instantiations. Next, similar to task and functions, there will be a keyword called as generate and end generate. Next, inside generate blocks, we can have a module, we can have user defined primitives, we can have continuous assignments, we can have initial and always block. What is the another name for this initial and always block? What kind of assignment statements are there? So this is continuous assignment. Continuous assignment is for which style of modeling?
Behavior.
Continuous assignment.
Behavioral.
Continuous.
Data flow modeling.
Data flow modeling. So keyword is assign. What about behavioral modeling?
Always at the rate.
Procedural assignments. What are procedural assignments?
Blocking, non-blocking.
Correct. They are called as blocking and non-blocking. Then what about this initial and always? They comes under procedural assignments or structured procedures.
Structured.
Correct. They comes under structured procedures. You need to remember all these structured procedure. So we can use all these kind of statements within this particular generate block. So there are 3 methods to generate this generate statement. One is generate loop, generate conditional, and generate case. Okay. Now let us see each and everything in detail. So first starting with generate loop. See this particular example. So here what I'm doing is I'm performing AND operation for n bit. So in the previous cases, we have written code for only 1 bit positions. Like suppose if I write the code by using gate level modeling, so AND some instance name output followed by input. Here while declaring input, I told that it is of size 1 bit. So we have written something like this: input a comma b and output is nothing but y. So what is this? Is a scalar way of declaration or vector way of declaration?
Scalar way.
This is called a scalar, which is of size how much? If I won't mention size, what will be the default size?
1 bit.
One.
Size 1 bit. But here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to perform by using n bit positions. See here parameter n is equal to 5. So output and input. So what is this style of declaring now? N minus 1 down to 0. This is nothing but vector way of declaration. So earlier we have written like this, 31 down to 0, so on. Suppose what is the disadvantage with writing like this is whenever we want to change the size, we need to change the entire code. But the advantage with this parameter style is simply if you change this particular value, it will be enough. Suppose if I want to perform the operation for 32 bits, so simply replace this n value with 32. So that if you change a single line, the entire code will start getting executed. So it will be very easy in updations. So output 31 down to 0 if you take the size of n. So here size of n that I'm taking is 5. So 5 minus 1. So 4 down to 0 is y followed by 4 down to 0 a and b. Next, here this is very important. Generate variable. If you won't use this particular statement, this loop will not get executed. Okay, so here I'm using a variable called as I. So it should be declared as genvar. So this is called as generate followed by end generate. And I'm trying to use loop. So for I is equal to 0, and this is a condition I less than or equal to n minus 1 and I is equal to I plus 1. So whenever this condition is true, it will enter into this particular begin and end, and it will perform this operation. Assign y of I is equal to a of I and b of I. For how many times it will be performed?
31 times, 32 times.
If I take the value of n is equal to 5,
5 times.
5 times.
Okay. Now let us implement the same thing by using Xilinx. How many are there today? 65. 75% attendance is mandatory, or else you'll face trouble. So generate for loop. So parallelly we are covering both lab followed by theoretical part. So try to work on this Xilinx tool also. In the 3rd week of June, you'll be having your mid exams. The same code which I've explained you, I've pasted it here. Okay. And can anyone tell me what is this? In earlier cases, we have been using only begin and end. Now, what is this particular statement here? Begin, colon, and underscore gate. What does this mean?
Calling the module.
Where is that particular module? This is called as named block. Okay. For better understanding, I will delete this. See, I'm commenting out these two statements. Save it. Try to synthesize. Let us see what kind of errors do we get. See, the synthesis is failed. Check the errors. See, conditionally generated items must appear within a named begin and end block. Means here, simply if you write begin and end, it's not enough. It should be a named block. Means you need to assign one particular name for that particular block. Okay, for this begin and end, this entire thing is called as one named block. You need to give some definite name. This is one change. Next, I'll try to comment out this particular genware. Okay, I'm commenting this out. And I'll enable these 2 lines. Now let us see what will happen. Can anyone tell me what will happen now? In C language, I think you will declare it like this. Integer I. Yes or no?
I is
Yes,
not
sir.
defined.
Okay, so now I'm declaring it as integer I and I'm trying to synthesize. See the difference between the C language and Verilog. See, again synthesis got failed. See, can anyone read this particular error?
Generate for loop index variable I must be a generate variable.
So definitely it should be declared as genware. Is it system defined or user defined? In C
System
language, this is user defined. Integer I is nothing but user defined. You will define it according to your requirement. This is user defined, but he is telling you to use only this particular name. So that is, it is system defined. Okay. So I'm commenting out this user defined variable and I'm going with genware. Now you try to synthesize, it will work. So these are the 2 important cases which you need to understand. So whenever you are using,
Can
yeah.
we give any name at line 30, sir? Begin.
Yes, any name you can give. Save it. Synthesize. See, no errors are there. So 2 things which you need to know is whenever you are using this particular generate and end generate, here some named block you need to use. Okay, that particular block should have some name followed by you need to use a keyword called as genware. And the advantage with this is simply I'm going with a concept called as parameter. So any number of bits, by using any number of bits, you can perform the operation. Okay. For the same thing, I've written the test bench as well. Let me write the test bench. So right click, new source, Verilog text picture. So give some random. New source, Verilog text picture. This one underscore TB. Okay. Now, suppose if I want to view the result in console window, what should I do?
Display.
Display $display.
Monitor for continuous monitoring. So I want to monitor.
Sure.
And what is the use of $time?
displays the time of simulation.
So I want to monitor three values, which is y. So y is equal to percentile b, similarly a and b. So this is nothing but y, a and b. Save it. Now initially a and b values are 0. After 100 nanoseconds of delay, a value is nothing but complement of a. Similarly, b value is nothing but complement of b. Save it. Simulation. Choose that particular test bench. Behavioral check syntax. Okay, no errors are there. So simulate behavioral model. See, I got some random result. So here a and b, which is of size how many? 5-bit or 4-bit? 4 down to 0. It is 5-bit. So try to perform 0 into 0. Everything will be 0. Similarly, all ones. So are you able to perform the operation now? Suppose the same operation if you want to perform without using this particular generate loop. How should I write? If I won't use this particular generate statement, how should I write the code for 5-bit operation? You try it and tell me. So here you concentrate on two things. One is genware followed by this named block. Remember, this is called as a named block. Next, same example, but here I'm taken the example of an half adder by using a generate block. Now see the difference here. Everything is same, but only the parameter is been added, followed by vector way of declaration, and here genware keyword. What is the use of this genware? Yes, if you are using
To
any
define a variable.
yeah, to define a variable. If you are using any integer, I mean any variable within that particular generate block, it should be declared by using a keyword called as genware followed by the name which you want to give. And what is this? Begin and end is called as named block.
Named block.
Named block.
This can be anything. So here I've tried to perform by using two styles. So what is the style which I followed here? Yes, what is this style called? I'm
Data flow
calling one
modeling.
particular module. Instantiation of
Instance.
half.
Data flow.
This is not data flow. I'm trying to call an half adder. So I'm using a concept called as instantiation. So before writing this particular code, you need to write that particular half adder code somewhere within your project, or else this particular line will not work. Suppose if you don't want to do this, simply delete this particular line and go with this particular two statements. Assign sum I. So this is called as data flow now. The lines which I have commented comes under data flow. Simply assign sum is equal to ax or b, carry is equal to a and b. This is one more style of writing. So by using this simply for n number of bits you can do this. Okay, but what will be the difference? Can anyone tell me now here? See, if I do like this 1 plus 1 plus 1. So if I take all ones, can anyone tell me the result after doing a half adder operation? Fast. Half adder. 1 plus 1. Try to add them.
0.
1 plus 1 is 1, 0. Triple 1 is 1, 1. 1, 1, and this is 1, 1. So let me check whether I'm getting the same result or not after performing by using generate block. So I'm closing this. Half adder using generate block. Okay, the same code, but here I've used a concept called as instantiation. So in order to do that, initially you need to write the half adder code. Okay, or else simply you try to comment out these two lines and go with this data flow modeling style. Save it. I'm trying to simulate it directly. Okay, I'm getting some error. So let me check what are those. So can anyone tell me what are those errors here? See warning, half adder TB is missing items. So better I'll try to add that particular half adder code. So already I've written this half adder code. So directly I'm trying to add them. Half adder, I'll go with gate level modeling. Or else instead of this, you can add it directly from here also. Right click, add source. So I'm trying to add half adder code. So half adder gate level modeling. So half adder underscore gate level modeling. I've added this. Now let me synthesize. So in order to do that, first you have to set this as top module. So already I've clicked on this particular option. So while you are trying to add some other codes, you need to set it as top module. Done. So choose this synthesis. Okay, no errors and warnings are there. So simulation, choose that particular test bench, behavioral check syntax. It is throwing some error. Okay. In fresh, let us insert it again. So here, what is the change is we won't get this particular result. It will try to perform the operation individually like this. So for all ones, if I try to perform XOR operation, what will be the result? Yes, what is the XOR operation between these two 4-bit numbers? Inputs are same, output will be
All
0.
Zeros.
So this is for XOR and try to perform AND operation. So this is the result
All
which we
one.
get. So this is the result will be for sum and this is the result for carry. This is the difference. Whereas the code that we write earlier for half adder, your result will be like this. But here by using generate block, if you write, this will be the result. Why? Because it will generate these 4 statements depending upon the parameter count that you are giving. Okay, so this is the only difference if you write the code by using generate loop or else the normal style of modeling. So for n number of bits, if you want to perform the operation, simply go with the particular block called as generate block. So this is one of the example and the same example for XOR also. You can go through this. So n number of examples are there. Next, similarly, generate conditional. So we have seen some of the conditional statements. Can anyone tell me what are those?
Else if
If Y else.
So by using that only I'll do that, but the small changes I'll try to add this particular generate as a keyword. See, can anyone tell me what is meant by an up down counter? Up down counter. So if I try to perform the operation between 2 bits 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So better I'm trying to add a state diagram. If you remember, this will be your unit number 5 in digital electronics. Again, I'll try to cover the entire concept of all the state diagrams, state tables, and million more models in your unit number 3. Okay, this is called as some state diagram. So going from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 0. Should I call it as up counting or down counting?
Up count.
down
This is called as
counting.
up counting. 0, 1, 2, 3 is called as up. 3, 2, 1, 0 is called as down. Okay, so this is called as up counting. So in order to perform the both operations simultaneously, what should I do? I have to use some control
Button
signal,
Down counter.
which is some mode pin you have to use. When mode pin is 0, you need to perform up operation. If it is 1, you need to perform down operation. Like this, you need to define. So random value I'm giving. If I want to perform up counting, I'll give this value as 0. If I want to perform down counting, so down counting is nothing but 3 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 0, and 0 to 3. So for this, I'm giving value as 1. So this is the way of doing up down counter. So see here, module name, port list. So port list is nothing but clock, reset, and count. So parameter, initially I'm setting that particular mod value to 0. And among this, I'm declaring inputs as clock as well as reset, and output is of size 3 down to 0, which is count. Now here I'm using a keyword called as generate as well as end generate. Now it is called as a generate conditional. Why? Because within this particular generate and end generate, I'm trying to use some conditional statements. See here, if mod value is equal to 1. So what is the mod value initially? I've set it to 0. So 0 double equal to 1. So is this true?
False.
It is false. If it is false, simply check for else if condition. So mod double equal to 0. So this condition is true. If this condition is true, this particular module will be called. So down counter x2 module will be called. So before writing this particular code, you need to add this up counter followed by down counter code to your project. Okay, these are two modules which I have written separately. So if you are trying to execute this thing in your Xilinx tool, better first you try to write the code for up counter and down counter. So in detail, we shall go about this counters in unit number 3. For now, just you need to understand that there will be a conditional generate statement. So which should be declared like this. Okay, simply within that particular generate and end generate, if you use any conditional statements, it is treated as generate conditional. The same example for multiplier also. Next, what about this generate case? I think you know about case statements. So what is the use of case? If there is a case, there will be end case. Now what is meant by this generate case means?
Use case inside generator.
That's it. Only this is a change. So using case statements within this particular generate block is treated as generate case. So take some random examples. So here again I've taken the concept of up counter and down counter only. So all these lines are same. Here generate and end generate. So I'm trying to use case statements within this particular generate block. So it is called as generate case. So we have written the same code for 2:1 mux, I think. So case. So concatenation operation of S1 followed by S0. We have written code like this. If it is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. If it is 0, 0, what is the operation? I want output is equal to I0 or else I1, I2, I3. So this is how we have written the code while writing the multiplexer using only case statements. But here, in order to make it generate case, it is enclosed within this particular generate and end case statements. Okay, so here when n value is equal to 1, this up counter will be called. If it is 2, down counter will be called. So the same story here also. Before writing this particular code, try to add up counter and down counter code to your particular projects. Next. This is one of an example for adder. Now can anyone explain me this? What I'm doing here? I'm performing two additions within a single code. I'll perform either half adder operation or else a full adder operation. Tell me what I'm doing here. Just simply go through that case statement. So see the difference. 1-bit operation and 2-bit operations I'm performing by using a simple one code. But here the one thing is you need to add adder underscore 1-bit followed by adder underscore 2-bit. These two separate modules should be included into your project. Okay, so simply the one thing that you need to remember is if case and end case are present between generate and end generate, it will be treated as generate case. What about generate conditional? Generate conditional. If conditional statements are used within this particular generate block, it is called as generate conditional. Now, can anyone tell me the difference between this example followed by the above examples that we have seen?
No generate block is used.
Yes, no generate block is there. So this is the normal style of coding which we done. So here generate block is not present. So simply if generate block is present, depending upon the parameter value, that many number of blocks will be generated. Okay. So suppose if you want to write the code for RC, ripple carry adder, 4 adders will be present. So here simply you write a code. First define the parameter n value is equal to 4 and you try to write the code for only one full adder so that 4 times this particular full adder will be generated. If you enclose that particular statement between this generate and end generate, so 4 full adders will be generated directly depending upon this parameter value. Whereas here that won't happen. Okay, this is a normal way of writing using a case statement. So I hope you got the major differences between the generate statement followed by the normal way of writing the code. Any doubts still here?
No, sir.
So till here we are done with almost 7 units of your Samil Palitkar. How many of you are going through that particular textbook which I've suggested? Did anyone purchase that book? Hardly no time is there for you. Again, assignments will also be given for you, I think, followed by attendance is very important this time. So instead of assignment, they're asking us to give the marks based on the attendance. So no marks will be given for your assignments followed by quiz. So generally this will be the pattern, right? 20 plus 10 is 30. This is your theory paper followed by this contains quiz followed by your assignment. So we are instructed to give this particular 10 marks based on your attendance, which is 75%. So those who are above 75% will directly get 5 marks, and those who are below this will get directly 0. So that's why I've already intimated you regarding this. So soon I will provide you the attendance percentage student by student. So make a note of this point. So till now we are done with gate level modeling, data flow and behavioral. So the next style of modeling is switch level modeling. Any idea on this switch level? In the starting class I've told you.
PMOS are used.
That's it. NMOS and PMOS are used. So the combination of both NMOS and PMOS is CMOS.
PMOS.
So can anyone tell me the on and off conditions for NMOS and PMOS? If you remember. Yes, what are the symbols? Can anyone identify?
Transistor.
What kind of transistor?
BJT.
Tell me number wise. First one is called as NPN or PNP.
NPN.
It is called as NPN. This is PNP.
PNP.
What about this one?
NMOS.
This is NMOS. This one is
PMOS.
PMOS.
PMOS. What are the terminals?
Gate.
Gate drain source.
Where should I write drain? Where should I write source and gate? Source, gate, drain. Source, gate, drain. Now tell me the arrow directions for NMOS and PMOS. If you know this particular symbols, this concept is very easy. Only you need to understand the syntax for this particular switch level modeling. Yes, tell me.
For NMOS, from gate to source.
For NMOS, gate to source. Okay. For PMOS,
Gate
source
to
to
drain.
gate to drain. Always remember one point. Arrow should be mentioned on emitter terminal for BJT, and it should be indicated on source for the FETs, field effect transistors. So these two concepts you need to remember. So you're calling this one as NMOS, so NPN. So always remember one more concept, that arrow will be from P to N. So blindly don't remember that if it is going from gate to source, it is NMOS. Don't remember like that. Simply remember like this. Why? Because diode is unidirectional or bidirectional?
Unidirectional.
It is
Unidirectional.
unidirectional. So always when it contains,
Unidirectional.
it flows from P to N. So remember same concept here also. It is PNP. So that's why it is going from P to N. Now tell me the on and off conditions. Those who have attended my first class will definitely tell me the answer. On and off conditions for NMOS and PMOS. It should be 1 or 0.
Input voltage of the transistor must be 0
For
for on.
For NMOS or PMOS?
For NMOS.
For NMOS it is 0. Wrong. I told you to remember one concept. For PMOS, if there is a bubble, to on it, simply give input as 0. Here no bubble is there. So to on it, simply you need to give input as 1. So here simply 1 is nothing but 5 volt. 0 is nothing but 0 volt. So simply if you remember this, it will be more than enough. So to make NMOS as on, give input as 1. To switch on PMOS, give input as 0. vice versa to put it in off state. Now, suppose if I want to draw CMOS inverter, what is meant by inverter?
Complements the input.
Complement. What is this gate?
Not gate.
Not gate, which is also called as
Inverter.
inverter. So this is called as gate. So this is drawing in the form of gate. Suppose if I want to draw it in the form of transistor level, so definitely I have to go for a concept of NMOS and PMOS. So transistor way of implementing. So if input is A, output is Y, I'll get Y is equal to A bar. Okay. So here one concept you need to understand. For CMOS, it contains two networks. So it contains two networks like this. So this is called as pull down network. This is called as pull up network. And here you have to give VDD. This is nothing but ground. And here you will take output. Clear till here? What happened, Pooja? Rule number 94. Okay, remember this particular concept. Pull down network, pull up network, and top it should be VDD, bottom it should be ground. And one more concept I've already told you for NMOS. So for NMOS, always source should be connected to ground or supply?
Ground.
Sir,
Ground. So NMOS always source should be connected to ground, and for PMOS always source should be connected to
VDD.
So I'm taking here source, gate, drain, and this is PNP. So like this, it should be connected to VDD. So remember these two important points. Always for NMOS, source should be connected to ground, and for PMOS, it should be connected to supply. Now, based on these two conditions, I'm trying to draw the CMOS for this particular NOT gate. So pull down network.
So
Always remember,
once say that CMOS one, sir.
pull up network and pull down network.
Yes.
So CMOS is nothing but a combination of NMOS followed by PMOS. So if I try to combine these two NMOS and PMOS, it is called as CMOS, which is complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So this is one particular style. Always it contains pull down network and pull up network. Pull down network always contains NMOS. Pull up network always contains PMOS. Okay, as I've already told you, PMOS, for PMOS, source should be connected to VDD. So here it will be source. This is gate. This is drain. So I have told you that PDN, which is pull down network, contains NMOS. So this is NMOS. So what I've told you for NMOS, source should be connected to ground or supply?
Ground.
Ground.
So source, this is gate, this is drain. So I'm connecting it to ground. Now, so there is a common line from PUN to PDN. So simply I'm trying to join them, and between them you have to take the output. So here I'm taking the output. Now, so as both the gates are same, so I'm trying to join them, and I'm treating this one as input. So this is nothing but CMOS inverter. CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor inverter. So now check the conditions. When input is equal to 0, tell me which one will be on and which one will be off. When input is 0, what
PMOS
will
will be
happen
on.
to PMOS?
CMOS will be on.
This entire diagram is called as CMOS.
PMOS
Okay.
will be on.
PMOS will be on.
PMOS
Okay.
will be on.
NMOS will be
Off.
off. So off is nothing but open circuit or short circuit?
Short circuit.
Short circuit.
Off. You note down these points. On and off.
Off open circuit.
Open circuit. On means short circuit, off means open circuit. So PMOS is on. So top it contains VDD and this is on. So that's why I'm replacing it with short circuit. Done. Next here I'm taking the output. Okay. And NMOS is off. So as it is off, open circuited, this part is connected to ground. Next, coming to input. Okay, here there is an input. And here also there is an input. So this is the diagram that you get when input is equal to 0. When input is equal to 0, PMOS is on, NMOS is off. So when input is equal to 0, what will be the output?
VDD.
VDD. So what is the default value for VDD in terms of analog and digital?
5 volts.
5 volt. Or else logic 1, 0 volt, or else logic 0. So here value will be 5 volt, which is nothing but 1. Check the NOT gate. So for NOT gate, when input is 0, what will be the output?
1.
1. You try to apply the vice versa condition. Are you clear with this concept? Very important and very easy also. If you are clear with this, I'll tell you for one more logic gate. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you try for y is equal to a dot b whole bar. What is this gate called?
NAND gate.
It is called as NAND gate. So make a note of two important points here. So y is equal to a plus b whole bar. What is this gate called?
NOR gate.
XOR.
Y is equal to a plus b whole bar.
NOR gate.
NOR gate. So two important points. So here dot is there as well as plus is there. So plus is called as parallel. Dot is called as series. If you remember these two concepts, you will draw a CMOS level circuits for all the gates. Now let us draw for y is equal to a dot b whole bar. Y is equal to a dot b whole bar. So in complementary metal oxide semiconductor, first you have to concentrate what is the term that is present below the bar. Okay, what is the term that is present below this bar?
A dot B.
A dot b. And for CMOS level of drawing, what will be the top level block and the bottom level block? Top is called as pull up network, pull down network, and here there will be VDD, and here there will be output, and here there will be ground. Now based on this, I'll try to draw this. So in CMOS, first concentrate on A dot B. Okay, here dot is there. So dot is nothing but series or parallel?
Series.
Series. So always make a note. First preference should be given for pull down network. So pull down network contains NMOS or PMOS? NMOS. So after this, second pull up network, which is PMOS. Now A dot B dot is nothing but series. So two NMOS should be connected in series. So this is one NMOS. So another NMOS in series means like this. So what are the two inputs? This is A, this is B. Clear till here? I'm done with pull down network. Now how to draw pull up network? Simply complementary. Complementary means if they are connected in series, top they will be connected in parallel. Okay, here they are connected in series. So I'll draw two PMOS. So this is first PMOS and this is second PMOS. How they are connected? This is VDD, this is ground, and this is A, this is B. The common portion, separation line between pull up network and pull down network, here you have to take the output. So here output y is equal to A dot B whole bar. Okay, this is the CMOS diagram for NAND gate. Clear with this? You need to indicate the directions also. Source, drain, and gate directions. This is source, gate, drain. Source, gate, drain. Here source, gate, and there drain. Have you understood this concept or any doubts? So first, if you are trying to see this, you'll be a bit confused. Now you try to draw for y is equal to a plus b whole bar and tell me the circuit. Y is equal to a plus b whole bar. Who wants to answer? Yes, guys, are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I think you have not understood this.
2
Y
NMOS.
is equal to a plus b whole bar.
2 NMOS in series.
Who's
sir.
there?
Pull down network lo parallel.
Pull down network law parallel. Okay.
Parallel. Pull up lo series.
Okay. NMOS or PMOS?
NMOS. Pull down lo.
This is NMOS. This is PMOS. So pull down contains NMOS connected in parallel. Correct. So they are connected in parallel. This is A. This is B. Next. Pull up contains
Series.
Series.
PMOS.
PMOS or NMOS?
PMOS.
PMOS.
PMOS should be
MOS.
connected in series. Top it should be VDD. Bottom it should be ground, and the line which is separating pull up network and pull down network, you have to take the output. So here output Y is equal to A plus B whole bar. That's it. Now for this particular diagram only, we will write the Verilog code using switch level modeling. So one thing is, first you need to know about the symbols of NMOS and PMOS. Next, on end of conditions. Okay, followed by what is pull down network and what is pull up network. And important concept is dot and plus. Plus means parallel. Dot means series. Is it clear for everyone? Only few are answering this. Do you want me to tell once again? Now if you are
Yes.
perfect with this, do you
Clear.
want to please once again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this will be your task, which is XOR. So those who are perfect with the above two examples, you try to draw this and share in our chat box. One of the important question. So once again, I'm telling. First is NOT gate, which is called a CMOS inverter. And in complementary metal oxide semiconductor, it is nothing but a combination of NMOS followed by PMOS. So it contains pull down network. So the network which is present below is called as pull down, and which is present above is called as pull up. Okay, this is a general block diagram. Pull up network, pull down network. Always for pull down network, there will be a ground, and for pull up network, there will be VDD. Okay, the line which is separating between pull up and pull down. So here you have to take the output. Clear till here? General block diagram.
Yes, sir.
Next, two conditions I've told you for NMOS. This is PMOS and this is NMOS. So what is the condition for NMOS? Condition. For NMOS, source should be connected to ground. For PMOS, source should be connected to VDD, which is nothing but supply. So remember one point, always for PMOS, in the top portion you consider it as source, and for NMOS, the bottom portion should be considered as source. Okay, rest this is called as gate, and this is nothing but drain. Okay, clear till here?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
calling this one as pull up network, this one as pull down network. Now see this diagram, pull up and pull down are connected by means of a line. So simply I'm trying to join a line. Done. And the line separating this pull up network and pull down network means somewhere around here you have to take the output. So here what is the output? Y is equal to, for what I'm drawing this? For NOT gate,
Not.
Y is equal to A bar. So first focus on the component which is present below the bar. So it is A, means single input is present. Okay, so single input means all the gates should be joined, and here input is A, here output is Y is equal to A bar. So for PMOS, source should be connected to VDD, NMOS it should be connected to ground. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now you tell me for NAND gate, Y is equal to A dot B whole bar. Y is equal to A dot B whole bar. First step.
NMOS will be in series.
First focus on the component which is present below bar, which is A dot B. Now you tell me the condition dot is what, plus is what?
Dot is series,
Dot is
plus is
series.
parallel.
It is parallel.
Plus is parallel. So A dot B means series.
Two NMOS are connected in series.
Two NMOS are connected in series. Always start with pull down network. Pull down network should have NMOS. Next, the complement of this will be in the above portion, which is pull up network, which contains PMOS. So here they are in series. So top portion they should be in series or parallel. Complement means
Parallel.
they should be in parallel.
Parallel.
But here you have to use PMOS. They are connected in parallel. So top portion I've told you should be connected to VDD, and bottom portion should be connected to ground.
Ground.
So simply join these two lines. Now where should I take the output? The line separating these
Between.
two networks. So between I have to take the output. So here y is equal to simply a dot b whole bar. If you are still confused, better let us check this by giving some random inputs. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to give the input as 0 and 0. So a is equal to 0 followed by b is equal to 0. Now you tell me the on and off conditions. First, let us start with PMOS. Let us give some names N1, N2, N3, N4. What will happen to N1? On or off? Input is 0.
On.
This is on. What will happen to
On.
N2?
On.
Okay.
Off.
N3?
Off.
Okay. N4?
Off.
Off. Off means open circuit or short circuit?
Open circuit.
It is open
Circuit.
circuit. On means short circuit. So as it is open circuit, simply I'm trying to erase instead of drawing it again. Okay. I'm erasing this part. I'm erasing this part. So nothing is connected to ground. So as this is on, it will act as short circuit. So it is shorted. These two are shorted and they are connected to the output. Now what will be the output? See this
5
VDD by using this path, it is connected to output. So output will be 5 volt. So what is the value for 5 volt?
Logic
1.
1.
Logic
It is
one.
logic 1. So this is NAND gate. So 0 0. What will be the output?
1.
That's it. The same result we got. But this is a gate. This is called as transistor way of implementing. Okay. So generally, everything that you get fabricated will be sent after this transistor file only. So based on this, we will draw the stick diagram. This concept is not there for you. I'm telling what will be happening in VLSI industry. So after this particular diagram, stick diagram is drawn, followed by layout. And this layout will be given for the fabrication industries, which will be fabricated. Okay. So I hope you are clear with this particular concepts. If any doubts, please let me know. Once again, I'll teach. This is very easy topic. So the important thing is those who don't know the on and off conditions for NMOS and PMOS, you can't understand this. Okay, I'll share you this particular PPT also. So in detail, I've mentioned here. Once again, first of all, try to understand the symbols. That will be more than enough. So 67 are there. Let me download the attendance.